And we welcome you to the world famous arena here in New York City, Madison Square Garden, where we have an NBA 2K26 presents the 2025-2026 NBA season playthrough here on Vita Productions channel here. In this matchup, we have the Atlanta Hawks at 20-15 taking on the New York Knicks at 25-8 on the season, where the Knicks are the current owners of the best record in the Eastern Conference. Here we look at the starting lineups for the Hawks. At the guards, you got Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. At the forwards, Zachary Rishaze Johnson, and then you got Porzingis at center. At the guards for the Knicks, you got Malcolm Brogdon, Mikal Bridges. Forwards, Jordan Clarkson and Josh Hart, and then Karl Anthony Towns at center here as we are underway where the Knicks win the tip here. I am Vita Productions. I do sports video games. I have this NBA 2K26 season playthrough, as well as I'm doing some college football 26 content here. Currently in hate week right now in college football, as this is Thanksgiving morning when this game has been released here. So happy Thanksgiving in the United States if you're watching this live. This will be out earlier before you probably have to do anything. Unless you're out on the East Coast, then you're probably getting ready to head out if you're traveling far, or you're already preparing for the dinner and ready for people to come over. I see Jordan Clarkson for three. He drains it. And while I was explaining what was going on, we missed the first bucket. But you see Jordan Clarkson hitting the three-pointer there. You see Kristaps Porzingis with the bucket there, and the Bucks are on the board. Porzingis at 27 points and 13 rebounds in the last game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Malcolm Brogdon over to Bridges. Bridges for three. He drains it, and the Knicks are off to a quick 8-2 start here. Bridges had 23 points and 5 assists in their last game against the Spurs, a victory. For Trae Young. Trae Young for three. He misses that. Karl Anthony Towns. The calendar for this day for the season playthrough, we are already in the new year here. It's January 2nd, 2026. As Risage has it. Daniels back over to Young. Young coming through. Young for three. That is off the iron. Josh Hart will get the rebound for the Knicks. The Hawks are fully healthy here, but the Knicks, as you can see, Bridges for a three. He drains it. It's an early 9-point lead for the Knicks here. But as you see for the Knicks, they has a slew of injuries. Anunoby, Brunson, and Yavasil are out for the Knicks right now. Trae Young for three. That is no good. Bridges with the rebound. Mikal Bridges. Back over to Brogdon for three. Malcolm Brogdon hits a three, and the Knicks are off to an early 12-point lead here. Not even 3 minutes into the game. For the Hawks, this is their first game on schedule block number 2, as we're heading towards the waning games here, as Trae Young will shoot the three there. Averaging 30.8 points on the road this season, so he is definitely a performer on the road. Clarkson coming around. That is no good. Karl Anthony Towns with the offensive rebound, but Josh Hart with a three of his own to answer that three. Risage for three. It is Risage, yes. That's what I had to think about for a second. But he answers that one. Clarkson for three. He drains that as well. And the Knicks are back up by 12. Everything going strong for the New York Knicks right now. But if you watched the game a couple of days ago between the Pacers and the Orlando Magic, you know no lead is safe. Daniels for three. That is no good. Clarkson with the rebound. In fact, actually, even the Knicks to end schedule block number 1 proved that no lead is safe, as they overcame a 17-point first quarter deficit to the Milwaukee Bucks to end schedule block number 1. I see Johnson passing to the Risage. Or the Rishaza. I have to Figure that out again. Clarkson for three. That is no good. Karl Anthony Towns with the offensive rebound and the dunk. And the Knicks are up by 14. The Hawks, as I said, this is the first time on schedule block number 1. This is going to be the only time we'll see them in schedule block number 2. My fault. Porzingis, though, with the bucket. That is good. You see Porzingis averaging just a little under 19 points a game this season. The former Knick. Clarkson. That's from beyond the arc. That is no good. Jalen Johnson with the rebound. Risage, yes. With the dunk there, he has 4 points in this game. Clarkson over to Towns. Karl Anthony Towns with the slam dunk. Here at the Madison Square Garden, he's just a tick under 24 points a game here as we have the Hawks call a timeout here. 6:19 to play. We'll take a timeout as well. Knicks up by 12. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in New York here. We look at the shooting guards, rebounds a game for the last 30 days. That was the last 30 days. You see Dyson Daniels third in the league within the last 30 days. As Risage is going to inbound it for the Hawks here, trailing by 12 here as we're approaching halfway through the first quarter. Trae Young with the shot up. That is good. Hawks shooting 6 of 11 and Knicks 9 of 14. Knicks up by 10 right now. They led by as many as 14 so far here in the first quarter. Towns for three. He drains it. And the Knicks again are firing on all cylinders this early on in the game. But as I mentioned though, this is the Hawks' only appearance for schedule block number 1. They played twice in schedule block number 2, won both of their games, so they are 2-0 in watched games. The Knicks ended schedule block number 1 with that comeback from behind victory, as I mentioned before, when they overcame a 17-point deficit, which is the largest so far in a watched game. And the other day, we had a 16-point. We saw the Orlando Magic come back from 16 down against the Indiana Pacers. Hart, there's a bucket, and that is good. It's a 15-point lead, the largest lead of the game for the Knicks at this point. But then the Knicks also went into TD Garden in Boston and won that one very handily. So they are also 2-0 in watched games. So somebody's going to get their first loss in a watched game this season. Towns thought about it for a second, back over to Josh Hart, 5 on the shot clock. Hart with a deep shot. That is good. It's a 17-point lead. You see Dyson Daniels pass it back over to Trae Young to Jalen Johnson. To Porzingis. That is no good. Brogdon will have the rebound. No points for the Hawks in the last 2+ minutes. Josh Hart. Back over to Karl Anthony Towns. That is off the iron. Risage with the rebound. All right, back over to Jalen Johnson. Back to Risage. Young for three. That is off the back iron. Towns will get the rebound. Clarkson has it. Knicks out rebounding the Hawks 12-5 right now in the first quarter. You see Clarkson with it. Clarkson, deep shot from 2, no good. Porzingis getting the rebound here. As we're approaching 3 minutes of play in the first quarter, 31-14, Knicks on top. Young for 3, no, that was Dyson Daniels, never mind. But he hits it anyway. He'll cut the deficit to 14 as the Knicks will call a timeout here. We're going to take another timeout as well. 2:49 to play. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back in New York here. Knicks off to a 14-point lead here. They are up by 17 moments ago here. So we got substitutions for both teams coming in. You see Coach Mike Brown, the former Kings head coach. The only unanimous head coach of the year. You see Mitchell Robinson into the game. McBride back over to Shamet. Kolek misses it here. Kennard will get the rebound for the Hawks. Alexander Walker performed pretty well in the first couple of games here. For 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Alexander Walker, he'll miss it. Hukporti will get the rebound. Is he Kolek? Back over to Shamet. Shamet for three. That is no good. Robinson with the rebound. Back to Kolek. That is no good. Okongwu will get the rebound off the miss there. Krejci passes it back over to Kennard here as we're under 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 31-17, Knicks on top. 6 on the shot clock for the Hawks. 1:45. Alexander Walker for three. No good. Hukporti will get the rebound. Kolek with it back over to McBride. McBride, as we see here. Substitutions coming in now for the Knicks. I said Knicks, you're going to see some players that usually don't play. You see Hukporti there with that dunk. It's a 16-point lead again for the Knicks here. Gee with it. Back over to Alexander Walker. 10 on the shot clock here. He's going to get an open chance there. That is no good. Hukporti will have the rebound off the miss here. The Knicks are 9th in the NBA with 47-point rebounds per game as a team. 16 already in this first quarter. Mitchell Robinson. Kolek coming through. Pass it over to Shamet. 2 on the shot clock. He has to get that up. (35-17), 18-point lead, their largest of the game. As you see the Knicks shooting 56% right now in this first quarter. Okongwu with it for the Hawks. And there is an illegal screen called against Krejci. His first personal foul here as we see Kristaps Porzingis coming back into the game here. And for the Knicks, Mikal Bridges is back into the game here. 7 left of the first quarter. Leading it by 18. Bridges for three. No good. Porzingis with the rebound, and that will do it. The Knicks dominated this first quarter. Getting off to a very fast start. They lead by 18. It is 35-17 Hawks. Or 35-17 Knicks, my fault there. We'll be back to start the second quarter. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. You see the Hawks getting the inbound to start off the second quarter here. 35-17, Knicks on top. Here from Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. Alexander Walker will get his first points of the game. Knicks, their largest lead was that 18-point lead for a second there. Mikal Bridges for three. That is off the back iron. Porzingis almost lost it for a second, but Kennard was able to maintain it. I see Kennard, Alexander Walker, Okongwu, Krejci, and Porzingis starting the second quarter, for the Hawks. Krejci. Over to Kennard. Kennard for three. Luke Kennard, his first points of the game, and it's now a 13-point game lead now for the Knicks. 1 minute into the second quarter. Kolek. Back over to Hukporti. Hukporti coming around. That is going to be stuck. McBride now has it as Porty was able to get his offensive rebound. McBride for three. No good. Okongwu will get the rebound. Kennard has it. He had a three-pointer the last trip around. Krejci over to Alexander Walker. Walker will get the points there. And the Hawks are within 11. If you watched the last game between the Magic and the Pacers, you know no lead is safe. The Knicks actually proved that one as well as they overcame a 17-point first quarter deficit all the way back at schedule block number 1 against the Milwaukee Bucks when they came back from 17 down the first quarter and won it on a Jalen Brunson shot with .2 left. Kennard over to Okongwu. Okongwu. That shot is no good. Mitchell Robinson will grab the rebound. Is a Kalake with it. Over to Hukporti. Hukporti with the slam dunk. And the Knicks lead back up to 13. Walker, Alexander Walker for three. No good. Robinson with the rebound. Bridges has it. Back over to Kalake. And there's the alley-oop. No alley-oop. That actually went past and went out of bounds. Never mind. I was fooled there for a second here. We look at the league leaders for blocks a game the last 30 days. The Hawks are in first place in the league in the last 30 days. 6.5 blocks a game as Krejci's going to go to the bench. Buffkin into the game now for the Hawks. Porzingis into the game. Porzingis has it for the Hawks. 6 on the shot clock. Porzingis. That shot is up and that is good as Dadier is into the game now for Knicks. He'll inbound it to Kolek. As I said, Porzingis only averaging 18.9 points a game. But when you have a team like Trey with Trae Young on it, you're not going to be averaging. You're not going to be leading the team with points. As you see the bucket there, and it's back to a 13-point lead for the Knicks again. Mufkin with it. Back to Alexander Walker to Okongwu. Luke Kennard coming through. 7 on the shot clock. Alexander Walker for three. No good. Dadier with the rebound. Back over to McBride. Knicks out rebounding them. Kolek with the bucket there, and the Knicks are back on top by 15 here. Kennard back to Okongwu. Luke Kennard passing it back over to Buffkin. Over to Alexander Walker for three. No good. McBride will get the rebound. McBride back to Kolek. Kolek for three. No good. Kennard will get the rebound. 41-26 Knicks on top with about 7 minutes to play until halftime. Luke Kennard for three. No good. Okongwu will get the rebound and the slam dunk. And the Hawks are back to within 13. Kolek for three. He drains it. $16-point lead again for the Knicks. Back over to Kennard. Kennard for three. He drains it, and it's back to within 13 for the Hawks. Timeout, Knicks. 6:14 to play in the second quarter. We're going to take a timeout as well. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we're back here at Madison Square Garden where the Knicks up 44-31 with 6:14 to play in the second quarter. The Knicks have led from the start to finish. Here you see head coach Mike Brown, as I mentioned earlier, the only unanimous coach of the year. That was back in 2023 when he got the Kings to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. They're only a playoff appearance in that stretch so far here. You see Cat 27 points and 9 rebounds in their last game against the Spurs. A victory. You see Josh Hart's out there. 2 on the shot clock. Hart gets a shot up. That is no good. Porzingis will get the rebound. Young. Risage with it. Passing it back over to Trae Young. Got to remember, Trae Young had a great performance against the Knicks in 2021 postseason. As Porzingis is going to go to the line. Cat called for the shooting foul there. So Porzingis will go to the line shooting 2. And one of my favorite things I liked about that series is when the Knicks finished them off in 5 games in 2021, Trae Young gave a bow to the Knicks crowd. And he cited it, like when someone asked him about that, he said, hey, you know, New York, they love big finishes. And and in Broadway, they always give a big bow to the crowd. He's like, well, I wanted to do it. And let me tell you, Trae Young definitely, as Porzingis will hit the second one. Well, Trae Young had a performance worthy enough of the bow. Brogdon has it for the Knicks, and he's going to go to the line as well as Jalen Johnson called for the foul. And to be fair, though, you know what? He silenced that New York Knicks crowd in that series, because in game 1 of that series, the Knicks fans were chanting a word that I'm not going to say on here. It's a nice 4-letter word. And then Trae Young. I see Brogdon. He'll make the first one, and the lead's back up to 13 for the Knicks. The Hawks, I think, got to the Eastern Conference Finals that season before they fell to the Milwaukee Bucks. Brogdon hits them both. Knicks back on top by 14. Trae Young with it. Back over to Kristaps Porzingis. Wants him back over to Young, back over to Johnson. Johnson for 3. That is off the back iron. Brogdon with the rebound. Knicks out rebounding the Hawks 22-15. Brogdon for 3. That is off the back iron. Johnson will get the rebound as Risage has it for the Hawks. The Hawks going into this game at 20-15. The Knicks best record in the Eastern Conference at 25-8. Porzingis, that is off the back iron. And can't Karl Anthony Towns to the rebound here. Under 4.5 to play in the second quarter. 46-32. Knicks leading it. Cat with it. 9 on the shot clock. Brogdon for 3. That is off. Daniels will get the rebound. Back over to Young. Young back to Johnson to Risage. Young for 3. No good. Clarkson getting the rebound. No. That's Jordan Clarkson. That's my fault there. But Karl Anthony Towns with a layup, and that is good. And it's a 16-point lead again. He has 11 points in this game, 8 of them in the paint. He even drained the three-pointer earlier here. As the Hawks will call a timeout, and we're going to take another one as well. 3:36 to play in the second quarter. You are watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks have led from the beginning here. They're up by 16. They led by as many as 18 at one point in this game. As you see, Risage is going to inbound it. And we'll inbound it to Dyson Daniels. Trae Young for 3. That is off the iron, and Towns will get the rebound here. Clarkson has it. Trae Young only 5 points in this game. 2 of 10, 1 of 9 shooting. Clarkson with the bucket. And the Knicks are back up by 18, matching their largest lead of the game. That's Risage with it. He'll shoot for three. That is no good. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Brogdon over to Clarkson. Towns for three. He drains it, and the Knicks have their largest lead now, a 21-point lead. See, Trae Young need to get something going, try to get his team back into this game, get a little momentum before halftime here. 8 on the shot clock. Okongwu back over to Risage. Zachary Risage with it. Jumper. That is no good. Hart with the rebound. Jordan Clarkson with it. Clarkson back over to Josh Hart here. Approaching 2 minutes to play until halftime. Hart coming around. He loses it for a second, and they say last touch by the Hawks, so the Knicks will retain possession. As we look at point guards this season, Trae Young, 29.5 points a game. Jalen Brunson, 28.8. Brunson not playing in this game, but he is 4th among point guards, as well as Trae Young, 3rd among point guards in scoring this year. Hart for three, no good. Okongwu will get the rebound. With the Knicks trailing by, or Hawks trailing by 21 here. Josh Hart, 7 points, 3 of 5 shooting for 3 rebounds here. Dyson Daniels, 10 on the shot clock. Johnson for three, off the iron. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Hart gives it back over to Clarkson. A minute and a half to play. Clarkson, that shot is up, no good. Johnson grabbing the rebound. Young with it. See, Risage. Risage back to Johnson. Johnson with the layup. That is no good. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. You see, Risage had 12 points and 3 assists in their last game against the Timberwolves. A victory in that one as Okongwu will get the rebound off the miss. Oh, very dangerous pass there, but Daniels was able to retain it. But however, Atlanta doesn't take advantage of it. Knicks with it again, up by 21. Malcolm Brogdon, under a minute to play here in the second quarter. Karl Anthony Towns, over to Clarkson. Clarkson for three. He drains it. Jordan Clarkson puts the Knicks on top by 24. They have shot 10 of 25 from three-point range right now here in this first half. Under 30 seconds here in the second quarter. Dyson Daniels, back over to Trae Young, back over to Risage. 6 on the shot clock. Risage for three, no good. But look at the offensive rebound and the slam dunk. It's a 22-point lead now. Last seconds of the second quarter. Clarkson coming around with the layup. That is in. And the Knicks are up by 24 here. 6.7 to play until halftime. Young gonna get a deep three. That is no good. And we head to halftime here. The New York Knicks, as I said, led from start to finish, have not blinked yet. They are up by 24 points, and we are going to head to the halftime report here. You are watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Getting ready to start the third quarter. As you see Mike Brown talking to his assistant coaches here, you see Karl Anthony Towns had a great first half for the New York Knicks. Big part of the reason why they are up by 24. As I said, the Knicks have led from start to finish. From the start. Richelieu will inbound it to Trae Young. See what they have going on here. As you see Jalen Johnson with its starting lineups out for both teams. Richelieu for three. That is off the iron. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Hart coming through. Back over to Malcolm Brogdon. As I said, the Knicks are without Anunoby, Brunson, and Yavasili. The Hawks are fully healthy in this game. You see Porzingis with the dunk off the alley-oop. Trae Young with the assist. So the Hawks will get the first 2 points in the second half here. Still trailed by 22. Challenge for three. That is off the iron. Johnson with the rebound. Trae Young with it. Over to Porzingis. Porzingis with that shot up. That is no good. Josh Hart with the rebound. See Bridges coming through. Back over to Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon. That's it over to Bridges. Bridges for three. He drains it. It's a 25-point lead. Mikal Bridges had 6 points in the first half. Those are his first points in the second half. He has 9 total in this game. It's a 25-point lead. Over to Johnson. Johnson. That is good. Jalen Johnson brings the Hawks within 23 now. Hawks shooting 16 of 47. The Knicks 24-49. Clarkson being guarded by. He almost lost it for a second there. There's Hart for three. That is off the iron. Dyson Daniels with the rebound for the Hawks. Josh Hart, 7 points, 3 of 7 shooting, and 1 steal. Trae Young for three. That is in. Trae Young has the Hawks within 20 now. Clarkson, jumper, good! Knicks back on top by 22. That's 15 points for Jordan Clarkson, who usually be a good bench player, but as I said, with the slew of injuries, he's getting the start in this game. Porzingis has his way there, and it is 63-43. Trae Young has the assist there. It's a 20-point lead again. Over the Bridges, back over to Clarkson. Clarkson with a jump shot. That is no good. Trae Young with a rebound here. If you are watching this at the time this came out, I hope you are having a good, if you're here in the United States, I should say, hopefully you're having a good Thanksgiving right now. Because that's when this game got released. It's on Thanksgiving morning. Before the football games and before everybody has to go and do stuff with family. Hopefully you get a chance to watch it. If you're watching it at a later date in the United States, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. As there is a loose ball foul called against Karl Anthony Towns. That's his second personal foul, and the Hawks will most likely retain possession. Or will get possession, as I said. Dyson Daniels with it. Porzingis with a jump shot. That is good. Kristaps Porzingis, 13 points in this game, and the Hawks are within 18. Clarkson for three. That is in. Jordan Clarkson extends the lead. Knicks lead back up to 21. Their largest was 25 not too long ago. Porzingis over to Young. Young for three. That is off the iron. No good. Clarkson will get the rebound. Jordan Clarkson coming through. Back over to Karl Anthony Towns. Inside the paint, being guarded against Porzingis, and Karl Anthony Towns. Easy 2 points there. He has 16 in this game on 7-9 shooting. It's a 23-point lead again. Trae Young. Back over to Dyson Daniels. Back to Johnson. Over to Porzingis. We're on the shot clock. Porzingis. That is off the iron. Towns with the rebound. Jordan Clarkson will have it. Coming over to Hart. Hart with it. Do you have any heart? If you did, you would shut up. Clarkson. Jumper. Good! Knicks back on top by 25. Or Knicks back up by 25, I just say. 20 points for Jordan Clarkson. He has 7 in this third quarter. Reece Auger coming around. That is good. And the Hawks within 23 again. Look at the assists here. The Atlanta Hawks, 27.2 assists per game. 6th in the league. They have 11 in this game. Hart coming through. And he misses that one. Johnson finds Reece Auger. Reece Auger to Porzingis. And Porzingis with a slam dunk. Hawks within 21. Timeout Knicks. 5:32 to play in the third quarter. We're going to take a timeout. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. And we are back here in New York. As I say, we look at the standings here going into this game. You see the Knicks at 25-8. The Hawks at 20-15, currently sitting at 5th in the Eastern Conference. Hart has it. Coming through, Josh Hart. There's the three-point shot. That is good! Mikal Bridges, I believe, with the three-point there, and his lead is up to 24 again for the Knicks. They led by as many as 25. Back to Reece Auger. 4-3. He drains that one, and the Hawks are within 21 again. Jordan Clarkson has it for the Knicks. Clarkson for 3. No good. Porzingis with the rebound. Dyson Daniels. Pass it back to Reece Auger. Reece Auger misses that one. Hart will get the rebound for the New York Knicks. Bridges with it. Passing it back over to Clarkson. Deep 2. Good! Jordan Clarkson puts the Knicks on top by 23 again. Trae Young. Passing it back over to Porzingis. 9 on the shot clock. 4 to play here. 2, 1. Porzingis. That is good! Hawks within 21 here. Under 4 to play in the third quarter. 75-54. Knicks leading it. Jordan Clarkson back over to Hart. Back over to Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon for 3. He drains it. And the Knicks lead back up to 24. As I said, this has been you see Johnson for 3. The Knicks have dominated this game from start to finish. You see Hart, layup, no good. Jalen Johnson with the rebound. Daniels coming through. Daniels with the layup. That is good. Knicks shooting 50%. The Hawks only 40%. Clarkson. As you see, Clarkson, that jump is up no good. If you like what you're watching right now, don't forget to hit that comment, like, and subscribe button. As you see, Dyson Daniels with the bucket, and the Hawks are within 20 as we have a timeout for the Knicks. We're going to take a timeout as well. 2:39 to play in the third quarter. You are watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. We are back here in New York. We look at Jordan Clarkson's, look at the last few seasons here. His points production has dipped a little bit. But, as I said, he's on the bench now. He has not been the starter for a while. And with how good this Knicks team is, having him on the bench is not a bad option. It's Kolek with it. He'll shoot for three. That is off the iron. Okongwu will get the rebound. Here's the Alexander Walker. Back over to Krejci to Alexander Walker. That is no good. McBride will get the rebound for the New York Knicks. McBride to Shemit. That is no good. Okongwu with the rebound. Landry Shamet. Krejci with the layup, and it's good, and the Hawks are within 18. 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. This is coming to you from the Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. And the Big Apple here, and right now, in the Big Apple, they like to put on a show, and the Knicks have put up a show for a while in this game. Is Landry Shamet with it. Back over to Kolek. Kolek for three. No good. Alexander Walker will have the rebound. Luke Kennard. Back over to Okongwu. To Krejci. Back to Guy. Kennard for three. That is no good. Landry Shamet with the rebound. McBride. Back over to Kolek. Some of these players, as I said, we have not seen. Kolek there, he had a three-pointer. That was temporarily 21-point lead. But you see the Hawks come back down with a bucket there. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. 19-point lead for the Knicks. Kolek passing back over to Mitchell Robinson. Robinson with the layup. And the Knicks are back on top, are back up by 21. 23 of 46 for the Knicks here. There's a three-pointer. That is no good. McBride has it for the Knicks. Back to Mitchell Robinson. McBride, deep two. Good! That's a 23-point lead. Alexander Walker now has it. He'll shoot a deep three. Kolek will get the rebound here, and that will do it. We are at the end of the third quarter. The Knicks, as I said, led from start to finish. They are up 85-62. The final quarter coming up after this. You're watching NBA 2K on Vita Productions. Assist of the game. See, that's Karl Anthony Towns. He'll get the assist of the game there. So we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter here. Knicks up by 23 as Robinson will inbound it to Mikal Bridges. How long will some of these starters play in the game? As like Porty has it back over to Bridges here. You see Kennard, Alexander Walker, Okongwu, Krejci, and Porzingis. Bridges for three. That is the lineup for the Hawks, as I read off. But you know that Bridges and Mitchell Robinson, they're in the lineup. Back over to Alexander Walker for three. No good. Huck Porty will get the rebound. Kolek has it for the Knicks. As that Bridges and Mitchell Robinson were also in the... Kolek for three. No good. Okongwu will get the rebound here. 23-point lead. The Knicks on top. Krejci back to Porzingis. Krejci will get the assist there. 20 Hawks within 21 here. A minute in, you see Mikal Bridges for three. No good. Alexander Walker will have it. Luke Kennard for the Hawks has it. And there is an illegal screen called against Porzingis here. That's going to go the other way. Substitutions being made by both teams. Ian Wallace into the game for the first time. Don't think I called his name once at all in this night. Bridges for three. That is off, but Mitchell Robinson with the rebound. Kolek for three. He drains it. It's a 24-point lead again for the Knicks. Alexander Walker for three. That is off. Robinson. Kolek with it for the Knickerbockers. I need to say the Knicks because that sounds like a controversial word even though it isn't. Kolek. Jump shot up. No good. Back over to Alexander Walker. Wallace has it for the Hawks. Back over to Kennard. Alexander Walker for three. He drains it, and the Hawks are within 21. Porty. And that is a 3-second violation against the Knicks. And you see Mike Brown not happy there. We got substitutions. Like Trae Young is going to come back into the game for Wallace. Wallace only getting that short period of time on the floor here. Alexander Walker here. Back over to Kennard. And he steps out of bounds as the Knicks will go. They'll go the other way. Knicks ball. Luke Kennard, you got to have a little more awareness than that. Knicks upcoming schedule. They're home to the 76ers, on the road at the Pistons, home to the Clippers, then at the Suns. Kind of weird. But they're staying in the Eastern time zone until they play the Suns. McBride with the rebound here. 9 minutes to play. The Knicks up by 21. Karl Anthony Towns. To Porzingis. Alexander Walker back to Okongwu. Okongwu with the slam dunk. And the Hawks are within 19. McBride. There's a shot. That is good. Knicks back up by 21 here. 8:25 to play here in the fourth. Alexander Walker, 4-3. No good. Robinson. Back over to Michael Bridges. Or Mikal Bridges, I should say. Bridges coming around with the layup. That is good! Mikal Bridges. .23 lead again for the Knicks. They led by as many as 25 at one point in the third quarter. They have not let up as much as people think they have. Been a couple times where I think maybe Hawks got to under 20 points. See Kennard for three. He drains that one. It's a 20. They're within 20 again. But I don't think they've been within anything closer than 15 since the second quarter. McBride. Back over to Towns. Towns for three. He drains it. Karl Anthony Towns puts the Knicks back on top by 23. Back up by 23, I should say. 95-72 here. 7 minutes to play. Young for three. He drains it. Hawks within 20 again here. Under 7 to play. McBride for three. That is off the iron. Porzingis with the rebound. You see Alexander Walker. Kennard for three. He drains that one. And it's only a 17-point lead now for the Knicks. Back-to-back threes for the Atlanta Hawks here. 9 on the shot clock for the Knicks. Towns for three. That is off the iron. Young has it. As we are now approaching 6 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. 17-point lead for the Knicks. Porzingis. That is in and out. Robinson will get the three-pointer there. Shamet with it for the Landry Shamet passing back over to Michael Bridges. Or Mikal Bridges, I said. Bridges for three. Off the back iron. Kennard will get the rebound for the Hawks. Trailing by 17. Here's Trae Young. Over to Alexander Walker for three. He drains that. And the Hawks are now within 14. I believe that is probably the closest since the second quarter for the Hawks. Towns coming around with a dunk. And he answers that one. That puts an end to the 9-0 run there for the Knicks, for the Hawks. As there is a timeout. We're going to take a timeout as well. 5:04 to play in the fourth. You're watching NBA 2K on V-Dub Productions. We're back here. We're already looking at the player of the game. That's going to go to Karl Anthony Towns for the New York Knicks. He's had himself a hell of a performance in this game. He had that dunk there that that ended that little 9-0 run there for the Hawks. 16-point lead for the Knicks here. Led by as many as 25, but have not trailed at all in this game as Rishaze. Back over to Dyson Daniels. No, that was, yeah, Rishaze with the dunk. Hawks within 14 again, under 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. This game, once again, coming to you from Madison Square Garden here. We are in the waning games of schedule block number 2. I will have an update for this series as well as schedule block number 3. My plans for this. Starting next week, we got the conference championship games, and I'm going to be planning on doing all 9 conference championship games for simulation. So that could mean a break in the action for the series as Trae Young with the 3. Hawks are within 11. This has definitely been the closest since the second quarter, or maybe even the first. Clarkson for 3. That is off. Johnson with the rebound. Could get the deficit back to single digits again. Over Young. Back over to Porzingis. 10 on the shot clock for the Hawks. Kristaps Porzingis. And there, gonna get the shot up. That is off the iron. Knicks with the rebound. I believe that was Cat that had the rebound there. Back over to Hart. Josh Hart with the layup. Knicks on top by 13 again. Rishaze back over to Trae Young. Young coming through. Young getting the layup shot up. That is no good. Hart with the rebound. Young tried to get the steal for a second, but Hart was able to just control it. Malcolm Brogdon back over to Josh Hart. 10 on the shot clock for the Knicks, under 3 to play. Brogdon for 3. That's in! And the Knicks on top by 16 again. As the Knicks hit the century mark in this game. They're up by 16 here. Rishaze coming around and count it! As Clarkson called for that foul, but Rishaze is going to go to the line for a 3-point play for the Hawks. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how this game is going to come to an end, but you know the Hawks, they're not going away without a fight yet. They had it to within 11. Knicks were able to get back up to 16, but now... and this is it. Still 14-point game now for the lead for the Knicks here. Under 2.5 to play now. Brogdon back over to Karl Anthony Towns. Back to Josh Hart. To Mikal Bridges here. 10 on the shot clock. There's a shot up. That is off the iron. Daniels will get the rebound. 2:13 to play in the fourth. Young coming through. Trae Young. That's a bucket. That is good. Hawks within 12. 2 minutes to go here in the fourth. Brogdon for 3. No good. Johnson will get the rebound. See Young with it back over to Daniels. Daniels back to Young. Young, jump shot. That is off the iron. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. 1:40 to play in the fourth. Clarkson. No good. Porzingis with the rebound. Trae Young has it for the Knicks. Or for the Hawks, I say Young coming through. Young back to Daniels. Over to Rishaze. Daniels. Over to Johnson. Johnson. Jumper. 3-point. No good. Clarkson with the rebound. Jordan Clarkson with it. Malcolm Brogdon over to Bridges. Bridges, jumper. No good. Porzingis with the rebound. Back over to Rishaze, under a minute to play. 12-point lead for the Knicks. Rishaze for 3. That is no good. Hart will have the rebound. Gotta give it though. The Hawks tried to put up a fight in this game. Down by 25. They got to within 11. As you see Clarkson, 3-pointer there. It's a 15-point lead. Back over to Porzingis here. To Trae Young. Get a shot up. Young. 5 on the shot clock. That is no good. Brogdon can just hold it. They don't even have to go through the half-court line. And that will do it. The New York Knicks led from start to finish. Never trailed once in this game. Led by as many as 25. The Hawks couldn't get any closer than 11. And we have a final score. The Knicks 105. The Hawks 90. The Knicks move to 26-8 on the season. The Hawks fall to 20-16. And stay tuned with us. We are not done yet. At the player statistics for this game, starting off with the Knicks, Jordan Clarkson led the Knicks in scoring with 25 points. He had 6 rebounds and 4 assists to go along with it. Karl Anthony Towns, a double-double, 21 points, 17 rebounds, 2 assists, followed by Mikal Bridges, 14 points, a rebound, and 6 assists. Malcolm Brogdon, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Tyler Kolek, 11 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists. Josh Hart had 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. Miles McBride, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Ariel Hawkbordy, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Mitchell Robinson only had 2 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist. Landry Shamet, 2 points, 1 rebound. Pacome Dadier, 1 rebound in this game. And we had Kevin McCullough Jr., the only player who did not play for the Knicks in this game. And now for the Hawks, Kristaps Porzingis, double-double, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Trae Young had 16 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. Zachary Rishaze, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Luke Kennard, 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Nickel Alexander Walker, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Dyson Daniels had 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. Onyeka Okongwu, 6 points, 11 rebounds. Jalen Johnson, 2 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Mohamed Gee only had 2 points. Vit Krejci, 2 points, 2 assists. Kobe Buffkin had no stats at 3 minutes of play. Keaton Wallace, at 2 minutes of play, no stats. Then you got Nikola Jurisic, Asa Newell, Caleb Houston. They did not play for the Atlanta Hawks, and those are your player statistics for this game. Now time for the post-game ticker brought to you by 2K Sports. And we start off with the remaining games for Friday, January 2nd, 2026. We got the Spurs over the Pacers, 122-101. The Pacers had a 7-game winning streak until we watched them play. They ended up losing And that they ended up losing that game, and then they lost this one. They're back to being a below 500 again. The Wizards 117-108 victory, or is it? Yeah, 117-108 victories over the Brooklyn Nets. The Nuggets 144-123 winners over the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Hawks, again in a game that we watched, fell to the Knicks 105-90. The Orlando Magic fall to the Chicago Bulls 116-85. The Bucks 137, Hornets 116. The Pelicans 123-85 winners over the Portland Trailblazers. Light the beam. The Kings beat the Suns 98-97. That's a 4-game winning streak for the Sacramento Kings now. And the Kings are at 16-19. They are a lot better in this universe than they are in real life. I'll tell you that right now. The Thunder continue to show why they are the best team in the league, with a 141-139 win, held off a furious comeback by the Warriors. The Thunder are now league best 30-5. And then we have the Grizzlies upsetting the Lakers in Crypto.com Arena 125-115, or 129-115, I should say. The games played on January 3rd, 2025. We start off in South Beach. I don't know how many points the Timberwolves led by in general, but we know it was a 10-point deficit going into halftime for the Miami Heat, but they were over to overcome that. They win 117-116 over the Timberwolves, who are suddenly sputtering. The Knicks, 98-81 winners on back-to-back nights, this time against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks were able to bounce back and beat the Raptors north of the border 145-105. The Bulls 134, Hornets 95. The Spurs 112-107 winners. As you can see here, the Blazers tried to make a comeback in that fourth quarter, but the Spurs were able to hold on and win. They get their 20th win of the season. The Rockets 110-106 winners over the Dallas Mavericks. The Warriors hand the Jazz their 22nd straight loss. It is 129-90 winners over the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are now league worst 2-32. And the Clippers 113-97 winners over the Boston Celtics. And with a huge fourth quarter there, for outscoring them 42-18. And so that was a comeback from behind in a big way, though, in that fourth quarter. So the Clippers will get that win. And that will be it for your post-game tickers. My buddy RJL Network would say, if your team won, congratulations. If not, there's always tomorrow. It's now time for the injury reports after the game, after January 3rd, 2025. Saw off with the Philadelphia 76ers as Andre Drummond and VJ Edgecombe still out for them. Bucks are fully healthy. Bulls fully healthy. Jared Allen's still out, but Max Struss is back out in the lineup. He's now out for another 8 to 10 weeks. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown still out for the Boston Celtics. So is John Collins for the Clippers. Grizzlies are fully healthy. The Hawks are fully healthy. The only injury for Miami Heat is Terry Rozier, as I mentioned, suspended indefinitely, as he is on an indefinite leave by the NBA for his involvement in a gambling scandal. LaMelo Ball is still out for the Hornets. The Jazz are fully healthy, and I still can't believe we have not shown them in schedule block number 2. They will be on the second to last game, I can tell you that right now, of schedule block number 2, and quite possibly the last time we see them. Watch them in that losing streak in a watch game, I bet you. Maxime Renaud still out for the Kings. Anunoby, Brunson, and Yabusele still out for the Knicks. Lakers still without Dalton Neck. Wendell Carter Jr. and Jalen Suggs still out for the Magic. The Mavericks are still without Anthony Davis, Dante Exum. Though Exum actually is recovering, he is day-to-day now. He should be back soon. Terrence Mann still out for the Nets. Nuggets still without Peyton Watson. Halliburton, we know about his injury. Pelicans are fully healthy. Pistons without Jaden Ivey. Jacob Poeltl still out for the Raptors. Van Vliet, we know about his injury. Devin Vassell still out for the Spurs. Suns fully healthy. Thunder without Jalen Williams and Isaiah Hartenstein. T-Wolves are still without Randall, Conley, and Edwards, and I'm telling you right now, they probably really need them back because they were firing on all cylinders until these slew of injuries happened to them. The Trailblazers without Lillard and Kamara still out day to day. Moses Moody is now recovering as he's day to day from his injury. And Cam Whitmore still out for the Washington Wizards. And that is your injury report for the games after January 3rd, 2026. All right, now time to announce tomorrow's game, and that will be between the Detroit Pistons and the Cleveland Cavaliers from Cleveland, Ohio. And the both teams did play each other once already in a watched game where the Cavaliers won in Detroit. Now they're in Cleveland for this game. That will be this calendar day will be January 4th, 2026. However, the upload day will be Black Friday in the United States, still in 2025. 10 a.m. Eastern is when that game will be out. And speaking of teams from Ohio and Michigan, of course, you know, this is hate week in college football, so I've been doing college football 26 rivalry simulations. The first game was Georgia Tech and Georgia. The second game was Tuesday was Texas A&M and Texas. And last night, was Michigan and Ohio State. Of course, the state of Michigan and the state of Ohio hate each other for everything, not just for college sports. So do get a chance to watch that as well. Go back and watch that whenever you can, because I know it is Thanksgiving when this game comes out on here in the United States. So I know you're going to be a little bit busy. If you celebrate it, hey, enjoy. If you don't, hey, if you had the day off, you want something to fill your time with, go ahead and watch that while you also got football on in the background, because I know whether you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, you do watch football. So that will do it for the NBA 2K portion. Later tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for College Football 26 will be Tennessee and Vanderbilt. There is a rivalry between those two teams, and the reason why I chose that game was because this game actually has a lot of meaning. I believe both Tennessee and Vanderbilt still have a little bit of faint playoff hopes. It depends on what the college football rankings have. Definitely know that Vanderbilt has a little bit of a better chance than Tennessee right now. And that will do it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to receive notifications when these videos do come out. And reminder, the final score of this game, the New York Knicks defeat the Atlanta Hawks 105-90. I am Vinny from VDub Productions, and I am signing off.